magnesium ribbon. What will happen when we burn? That means magnesium ribbon. Magnesium, that means Mg. Symbol of magnesium is Mb. Say Mb reacts with oxygen. Means we are burning in the oxygen. So Mg plus O2 gives you MgO, means magnesium oxide. So when magnesium ribbon is burned in the air, it burns with a sound, with a light, that means dazzling light. Okay, it produces dazzling light, means very bright light. So Mg plus O2 gives you MgO, that means magnesium oxide. But when magnesium oxide that means dissolve in water, what will happen? Magnesium hydroxide will produce. So very easy to understand this. Magnesium when burns in the air, it produces what? Magnesium oxide. Okay, when magnesium oxide, that means dissolve in water or it reacts with water, it gives what? Magnesium hydroxide. We'll see the reaction between the copper sulphate and the iron. Copper sulphate solution is blue in color. When we dissolve, that means iron nail or iron blade into the copper sulphate solution. So in the copper sulphate solution both react and gives us what? That means iron sulphate and C. What will happen in this reaction? When iron is dissolved in the copper sulphate solution, the formation changes, that means the blue color of the copper sulphate will change into pale green. Why this is changes? Because due to the formation of the iron sulphate. And what will happen additionally? That means on the surface of the iron nail or iron blade, that means copper sulphate, brown color of the copper sulphate will deposit on the surface of the iron nail and the plate. So here we can see the total reaction. What's copper sulphate plus iron? Fe stands for the iron, symbol of iron. Okay, and Fe is for iron sulphate plus Cu. This is chemical reaction. This is another example of chemical changes. Another example, it is very that means behavioral example. First one is what? Digestion. Digestion is also what type of changes? Chemical changes. It is also example of chemical changes. Photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is also example of the chemical changes. Respiration. Respiration is also example of the chemical changes. Spoilage of food. Spoilage of food is also chemical changes, because once a food is spoiled, then again we cannot get the same food, same fresh food. So it is also chemical changes. So all the okay students, will see here rusting of iron. Rusting of iron, students, rusting of iron is what? It is a chemical change. So we'll see here how rust, that means, comes on the surface of the iron. Because we know that when we left iron object in an open space, in an open air, brown substance, that means we can see after some time brown substance on the surface of the that means iron. That layer, that brownish powdery substance is known as what? That powdery substance is known as rust. So deposition of brown layer on the surface of iron is known as rusting, or we can show that it is rust. So deposition of brown layer on the surface of the iron is known as what? Is rusting. Here we'll see how, that means Fe, iron, reacts with water, that means moisture. Water, Fe2O3 means iron oxide will produce plus oxygen. See here prevention of rusting. So we can use different method to prevent iron objects, iron materials from the rust. So we can use different method to protect our iron objects or iron materials, because we know that when we left iron objects in an open space, what will happen after some time? The brown powdery substance comes on the surface of the iron object. So here we have to prevent by using different methods. So first we'll use the painting. If we paint if we paint the iron objects, then we can prevent them on by rusting. Okay. So second thing is what? Applying layer of grease. We use grease in machinery items to protect them, because grease is what? Grease is a chemical, that means that chemical is used to prevent the machines from the. We'll see the galvanization. Galvanization is the process of, that means, preventing the iron material from the rust. Okay, how will do in this process? What will happen in this process? The non-reacting coat of the material of the element, that means it is deposited on the iron surface. Okay, because if we deposit the zinc, that means very less reactive element, zinc. If we deposit the zinc on the iron metal, that then also used to prevent the iron materials from the corrosion and from the rust. Okay, so in this process, that is what will do, that means iron is mixed with the other metals to form the different metal, to form the different substance, like stainless steel. Stainless steel is an alloy, that means this stainless steel is an alloy of the different types of metal, because for making stainless steel different types of metals are used. That means combination of all these metals like iron, nickel, chromium, manganese. If we use all these metals to form what? Stainless steel. Stainless steel is, that means it is a corrosionless, it is a that means it is durable.